Probability and how to calculate it simply. Probability is the chance that something might happen. And we do it in maths because for each probability we can write it as a fraction or a decimal or a percentage. So if you remember, that means a number between 0 and 1. So something like a half is halfway between 0 and 1 on a number line. So we can put probabilities on a number line as well. Okay? In primary school, I hope you did a little bit of that, where 0 is impossible. So something that is impossible. And 1 is certain, something that has to happen. And then we can put probabilities anywhere in between them. Okay, so the probability of tossing a head on a coin, it can only be a head or a tail, so it's 1 out of 2, which is a half. The probability of rolling a 1 on a 6-sided dice, there's only one face that's got a 1 on, and it's out of 6, so it's 1/6. So here I have my number line from 0 to 1 and my trusty Play-Dohs, which I'm going to use to try and show you how to work out probabilities. So if you have to work out the probability of something happening, it's going to be the number you've got over however many you have. That sounds a bit complicated, but let's try it. So I've got 3 blues, 2 reds, 3 greens, altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the probability, if I close my eyes and try to pick one of these, the probability of me getting a red is going to be 1, 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the probability of a red is going to be 2 over 8, 2/8. And if I'm clever, I can simplify that to a quarter. On my number line, a quarter is, if that's a half, a quarter is about there. So a quarter is the probability of picking the reds, 2/8. Probability of picking blues is 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3/8. So if I had to put that on my number line, the probability of blues is, that's a half, 3/8 is about there. Okay, so that's the probability of a red. That's the probability of a blue. And greens, I've got 1, 2, 3 greens out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, 3/8, 3 out of 8. So the probability of picking a blue or a green, probability of a green is the same as a blue. Okay, so now I have my 5 odd socks from my drawer. So if I wanted to work out probabilities, again, what's the probability of pulling a yellow sock out? Well, I've got one of those out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the probability of a yellow sock is 1 out of 5. The probability of a black sock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only one of them, 1 out of 5. That's not bad. What if we put things together? What's the probability of picking a black or a green sock? So I want to pick a black or a green. There's 2 of those out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2/5, 2 out of 5. and maybe slightly more complicated, though not too bad. Here's a box of books I've just found. Okay. I want to know what is the probability, if I didn't look, of pulling out a book by Roald Dahl. So how many books are by Roald Dahl? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be 10 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 10 out of 15. And again, if I want to, I can simplify that to 2/3. What is the probability that I pick a blue book? So I've got how many blue books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blue books. That might be a green one. 4 blue books out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Probability of me picking a blue book is 4/15. 4 out of 15. Okay, going back to my number line, maybe a little bit more complicated. If I needed to put these numbers on, it's not so much a probability question as a fraction question. This is why fractions and equivalent fractions are really important when you're thinking about probability. So I've put my red Play-Doh was 1/4, my green and blue Play-Doh was 3/8. If I wanted to put the chance of me picking a blue book 4/15, I need to think about how I'm going to put that on my number line, don't I? 4/15. I could say it's fairly close to 4/16, which is a quarter. It's going to be slightly more because 4/15 is slightly more. So my book, I think, is going to go about there. It was my blue book. Okay, and then my blue sock, 1/5. So I have to think, is 1/5 bigger or smaller than a quarter? 1/5 is smaller than a quarter because it's got the bigger number on the bottom. 1/5 is probably going to be about there. 1/5 would be my blue sock. Okay, so that might be what a probability line looks like. If you want more practice, just have a little look around your house like I did for things you can find the probability of. Just remember it's whatever you're interested on the top, so maybe 4 Dib Dab sweets over however many you have, 100 sweets. The probability of a Dib Dab would be 4/100. The probability of a pair of socks would be impossible in my house. Probability of a coloured toilet roll, we have loads, so almost 1.